Good morning guys, welcome back, or welcome if you are new. Today we're filming a sit down video. I was just going to include this like into a vlog, but I realized I have way more to share with you than I thought I did, and I really just feel like this could be beneficial to somebody. Hopefully it's beneficial to somebody, so I figured we would just dedicate an entire video to it. So you can already tell by the title what I'm talking about today, but if you're not familiar, which most of you probably are, I have a set of twins. They're almost 5 years old. They're diagnosed with level 2 autism spectrum disorder, which there are 3 levels: mild, moderate, severe, so they fall right in the middle where we don't really know where it's gonna go, basically, is how it is. I was told when they were around 2, I would say, that they would never talk, like they would never speak, and basically just screw you to the people that told me that, because here we are almost 5 and their vocabulary is huge. Like, I wish, whatever. So I know that this video could possibly be messy. I know that it could be all over the place, considering my notes are like also a mess. So I'm not really sure where I'm gonna start. I'm gonna try to just say what I need to say, but remember to say some of these. So this could be a nightmare. If you clicked on this video, then you probably are having some kind of experience with a child with speech delay or autism, or I guess you could just want to be informed. Just keep in mind that no child is the same. It's okay to be speech delayed. It's okay if they have autism. Don't ever feel like, I get this all the time. People message me and they're like, I feel like I'm not doing enough. And that's something I've never doubted myself on, actually. Don't ever feel like what you're doing is wrong, or like you're like, oh my god, my child can't talk, I did something wrong. Like, don't ever feel like that. But you can put in the work to help them speak eventually, you know what I'm saying? I know that this video has already been a nightmare. If you guys could see all the things I've had to cut out of this video already, I am such a mess. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started by showing you some of the things that the boys enjoy doing that I also use to help them with their speech. And I've been using these specific things, I would say, since they were about a year old. That's when I started to realize like they weren't babbling or like repeating, like they weren't saying mama or anything like that, super young. So I really noticed that their speech was behind. I'd say around a year to 18 months is where I really noticed things were lagging. And then the boys were diagnosed with autism between 18 months and 24 months. So a year and a half to 2 years. Sorry, I just did that to you guys. Okay, so number one, the main thing, which I meant to grab, I'm so sorry, I have hundreds, I mean hundreds, if not over 1,000 flashcards, and that anytime anybody asks me what can I do to help my kid talk because they're speech delayed, or I'm worried about them not speaking enough, or I feel like I'm not doing enough, every single time I will say flashcards. Every single time, flashcards. They are a saving grace. I don't think you guys understand the different things you can do with a flashcard. I really regret not bringing a flashcard in here. Let me go get some. Sorry if the angle changed. I just talked to you guys forever and I didn't record. I went and got some of the flashcards that we have, and yes, these are just some. Mine are laminated because my twins stem by ripping paper. They love to do it, so we had to laminate them. Most of these actually come from the Dollar Tree. You can get them super affordable. Dollar Tree has a great selection. Walmart's, sometimes they have some cheap ones, but they can go like $6 or $7, especially on Amazon as well. Target Dollar Spot always has flashcards too, but the ones that we like to start out with were like, I guess this is a good one, from the Dollar Tree. It's like a pink circle, so on the back it's like written pink circle, and then it has a, you guessed it, a pink circle. But you can start with shapes, you can start with colors. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to like wrap my brain around what I'm trying to say. Repetition is key. Repetition is key. Repetition is key. That's what I've learned. Repetition is key and regression is real. They pretty much go hand in hand, if you are understanding what I'm saying. That's very common as an autistic trait, is regression, which if you're not familiar, it's the opposite of progression. They like basically forget everything that you've taught them. So again, repetition is key. So even if you get one box of these, keep doing them. Like, keep doing them for months and months and months until it's engraved in their heads. That's how my kids learn. We label everything. Like, these are like my rules I've written on the back. I label everything. I mean, label everything. If you're giving your kid a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, look, I'm getting the knife out of the drawer. I'm getting the peanut butter out of the cabinet. I'm getting the jelly out of the fridge. I'm putting the jelly on the bread with the knife. You know what I mean? Like, geez, these basic keywords, label everything. It doesn't matter if you're a maniac. I do it in public all the time. People are probably like, you need to chill out, you crazy lady. I don't care. Label everything. They need to know what words go with what item, or like what actions are happening, which actions are a little bit harder to grasp because that's Logan's goal right now, and he's more what should I say, he's more advanced, I guess, in his speech, and he's almost 5 and he's just now learning actions. Please just label everything. These, I'm getting out the flashcards. You guys feel me? Like, I don't know, I'm very like, it's so important. Even if you don't realize it, if your kid's not talking, they're listening. I promise you they're listening. My kids have almost no receptive language, but I swear to you, they are listening. Just label everything. Okay, back to the flashcards that I'm obviously so serious about. My battery light is flashing. Oh my god. I know that the angle just changed again, but we have a fresh battery. Get a box of flashcards, do them every day, once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. The same flashcards over and over. Teach them, this is a circle, this is a circle, this is a circle, this is a circle. In the beginning, I think it's important just to show them, even if they're not saying it, they're not repeating it, you just need to engrave it in their brain. Jeez. You just need to engrave it in their brain, and then keep working on the same flashcards. And then once you feel like you've said it in their head enough, start to see if they can repeat it. Don't ask them, what is this? Just say circle, and then give them an opportunity to say circle. And then if you feel like they can finally repeat, this is a very slow process. This is all going to happen in days. Like, this took months for this to happen for us. So I'm not saying like this day work on this day work on this. I'm talking like over a long period of time. Once you feel like they have the ability to repeat them, then say, maybe this is something that we're still working on depending on where your child is. What is this? Or, you know, just show it to them. You know what I'm saying? And then you can move on to, this is a pink circle. Like, you can do it in any order that you feel like your child is responding. But in the beginning, remember, even if you don't think they're listening, they are. So just label everything for them so that they can pick up on it. And then if you feel like in our case, we're still working on receptive language. If I look at my child right now and I say, what is this? They are probably not going to know what I'm saying. However, they'll do it at their own pace. So if I hand them a fling of flashcards, they've always been so good at this. It's like kind of scary, crazy. They would be able to go through socks, green square, purple heart, blah, 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 blah. They just learn to do that on their own. It's been so impressive, but not every child's going to do that, of course. So just move very slowly with the flashcards, 1 box at a time. Start with very basics, like obviously don't start with socks, but start with maybe the letters or the alphabet, the colors, shapes, and then progressively you can move up to more difficult cards. So just remember to move at your own pace, but flashcards is the best place to start. I kid you not, I still do these with my kids every single day, the same ones we've been doing since they were 1. I would say I've got all of these engraved in their brains at this point, because when they were little, let me tell you, our world revolved around flashcards. Okay, moving on. There's only like a few activities here. I try to be hands-on, so there's a few activities that we just do all the time and we've been doing for almost 5 years now. You guys know that books are important, right? That's no secret. Read to your kids. However, my kids do not care about books. My kids have never cared about books. I've always been told it's important to read to your kids. However, I could tell they weren't paying attention to me or understanding what I was saying. Little did I know they were going to be diagnosed with autism. That's why they didn't understand what I was saying. However, these books are great. This one I got from the Target dollar spot. Don't read them a story. You can label things. So like these books are great because they're already labeled. This was literally $3 in the Target dollar spot, and there's like so many, like hundreds of words in here, it feels like. Go through and just label everything. And if you don't even have a specific book like this for them, you can just go through a normal book and label like what the things are in the pictures. You see what I'm saying? But these books, if you can get your hands on them, are great. Like this one I just bought like the other day because we still use books like this. Again, almost 5. They don't care about storybooks, so this book is great. Amazon has a bunch of really good ones. There's just so many things that you can point to and label so that they can put the picture with the words. I'm not going to talk about books too much because that's common sense. But again, if you can't get your hands on any like this, I'm sure you have a book laying around. Just go through and label the things in the pictures. Don't necessarily read the words, especially if their receptive communication isn't the best. Another big thing that I know a lot of kids do with their, or a lot of kids, what a lot of parents do with their toddlers are wooden puzzles, which I've, again, always done. You can get them anywhere, Amazon, Walmart, Target, even Dollar Tree has some. I pulled one out from the Dollar Tree just so you guys could see. Don't judge me, I'm a hot mess mom. My kids probably have about 30 of these puzzles, if not more, and the pieces are just everywhere in this house. But this, for example, is a Dollar Tree one. Even if they don't do like the fine motor activity, like portion of it, putting the pieces in and out and knowing where they go, that's fine. Do the puzzle in front of them. Again, label everything that you're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, as you're doing it. So like, if this was my kid, for example, hi, you're my kid, hi Landon, we're gonna do this puzzle. Look, this is the number 1. Number 1. Like, just keep saying the same things over and over. I feel like your guys' therapist or preschool teacher right now, but I'm just passionate about this, okay? And then this is another one that I really love. It goes hand in hand with those cards I was telling you about earlier. Again, they don't have to do this part, just do it to them, but this teaches you colors and shapes, which I love, which is a really like very good like basic to do with your kids. So again, blue oval, even if you don't want to do the shapes and colors at once, this is blue. And if you want to say oval, obviously you can, that way you're still teaching them. But if you want to focus more on the color, just make sure you're saying the color more than the shape. And then again, this is always a good one. Animals, so good, basic animals. So cow, and then you can work on them doing the fine motor, and then also you can teach them the sounds that the animal makes. Melissa and Doug ones are my absolute favorite puzzles, but again, even Dollar Tree has them if you don't have much money to spend and you want to do something to help your kids. In that portion of this is pretty much the last hands-on activity that I've done with my kids for so long. You guys can see the key concept here is label everything. Label everything. Be repetitive. I don't care if you think it's annoying. You gotta do it, man. You gotta do it. This is something that I really love. My kids love, like, I just had to split these with Logan so he could do some play food, which you can get at the Dollar Tree. Again, just start with a few. You can get at Dollar Tree, there's like a bag of like 5 or 6 foods. Keep doing it. And like, so for example, something simple, pizza, right? You have your pizza. I haven't done this with Logan, but eventually I could teach him like what's on the pizza, but they can like touch it and feel it and like really look at it. And if you have the same 6 ones over and over, pull them out all throughout the day. Just let them play with them. This is a pepper, egg, pizza. Do it, you know, like every hour. Just engrave it in their head, and then eventually you could, you know, like see if they can label them. Like, again, what I told you guys earlier, my kids are still working on this, like, where is the pizza, to get them to point to it, to work on their receptive language, you know, which is like understanding what you're saying to them. Sorry, I never clarified that. If you didn't know, I'm a mess, I'm sorry. Like in a field of 2 or a field of 3, like where is the, you know what I'm saying. But play food is great. And then of course, once they finally catch on to labeling the like 6 that you get another bag of 6 and incorporate them, you know, do 6 now and then work on those 6, and once they finally got those down, combine them and see if they can still label all 12. You want to keep incorporating what you originally did though every now and then, so they don't forget, because again, regression is real. And then going basically with the play food, we do the same thing with animals. I don't need to say it, you guys. Go to the Dollar Tree, get a few different animals, start with 3 animals, get it engraved in their bread, get it engraved in their brain, and then see if they can label it, incorporate another 3. Don't forget to keep working on the first 3, and then combine them, and then go from there and there and there. That's how we've ended up with the whole thing of animals, and they can name all of the foods, they can name all of the animals, they can do all the flashcards, they can name everything in the books. Like, you guys, I was told my kids would never talk, like, all right, those are all of the things. Like, those I think are the most basic concepts. I'm sorry I was like all over the place with that, but it's just really important that you take something away from that. Again, work at such a slow pace. It's fine if your children don't talk right away. It's fine if you have speech delays, but just remember that it is your job to continue working with them. Of course, you can get a speech therapist if you feel like you're really struggling. I've learned so much of this from their therapists. They've had great therapists, some great therapists besides the ones that said my kids would never talk, that have really helped me help them. So I hope that you take something away from that. There are a few more things on this that I do want to tell you. I am very pro technology. I've never been the kind of mom that says, no, my kids will never have an iPad. No offense to you guys, but I've never been that type of person. I love YouTube, and I think that my children talking is a lot thanks to YouTube. Isn't that crazy? Like, we live in a world anywhere where technology is something that children are going to have to learn anyway. It's not like we're back like 50 years ago where technology is not like a huge thing. Like, they're going to have to learn it at some point. I'm, however, the mom that if the TV's on, we're probably not watching a movie. We're probably watching an educational video on YouTube, which that's probably annoying to some people, but it is what it is. I'm going to link some of my favorite like YouTube videos that I feel like have really helped my kids speak. And also, I'm a firm believer in ABC Mouse. It is great. It's like $10 a month. It is worth every penny. Your kids can all share one account for $10 a month. What is this hair doing? So if you have like anything touchscreen that a child can use, because I know most kids don't know how to use a mouse anymore, I highly recommend ABC Mouse. Get on YouTube, search, learn alphabet for kids, learn animals for kids, learn fruits and vegetables for kids. Like, there's a lot of fun videos that will really draw them in and teach them. And now that my kids have basically learned all those basic concepts, like their alphabet, colors, shapes, all that stuff, they watch Alpha Blocks now, which teaches them how to read. It's so insane. I know that this video has been really long. I've moved from like one side of the screen to the other, and I've like really gotten passionate about what I'm talking about. There are just a few keynotes on here that I wanted to like make sure I mentioned to you guys. There's a huge difference, and I've always said this, between talking and communicating. My children can talk. They have a huge vocabulary, which again, they were told they would never have. However, their communicating isn't the best, which is fine. That's something that we're working on now. That's a very, very long, slow process for us, but I'm very hopeful that one day they will communicate. Just, they have a huge vocabulary, huge. But if I look at Landon right now and I say, Landon, how was your day? He's just gonna stare at me because he doesn't understand what I'm saying. Like, I could never, at this moment in time, have a conversation with Landon or Logan just because they don't know how to communicate. We're working on the receptive language. Again, where is the blah blah blah, because they're gonna learn eventually. If we ask them, they're gonna learn what it's like to have a conversation. I speak, you answer, you say something, I answer, you know what I mean? So that's something that I'm still working on. I still watch videos on how to improve that. That's what we're working on with the therapist. I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I'm just gonna say one more thing, which is the end goal obviously is to use the words that you've engraved in their head in practical ways. So like, if you teach them, oh my gosh, so I guess a obvious example is if you're teaching them flashcards that have 2 different foods on them, eventually in real life show them those foods, and then like say the flashcard said apple or banana, show them an apple and a banana, and then see that, let them choose. Like, if they finally learned how to say apple and banana and they know what an apple and a banana is, let them use their words, because I feel like it's really empowering for them, really motivating to see that their words really do mean something. Like, that's the end goal, is for them to actually use their words and start communicating, even if it's simple things like I want an apple or a banana. So okay, label everything. Repetition is key, regression is real. I'm sorry, I'm a mess. I just feel very passionate about this, apparently. I didn't know that till I started talking. I hope you guys take away something from this. I'm sorry if it was a mess. I just really wanted to get this information out here. I'm not perfect. I'm not a professional. There's a chance I'm doing something wrong, but this is just what's worked for us. Oh my gosh, okay, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below, of course, and I guess good luck. Bye.